It's your man Jay GravesReport, and welcome to the Mick Football Weekly Preview Sectional Edition, presented by your good neighbor State Farm agent Ravi R. Murray, located 7503 Rockville Road, Indianapolis, or hit your boy up at 317-297-3804 so you can holler at your boy. Now, y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. If the regular season is over, we let all the other duns in class in the other lower classes, smaller classes, if you will, start the playoffs last week, and the big boys in the 6A just been sitting in the cut chilling. Now it's time to start playing. But here's the problem I got. Let me get on my soapbox early and get it out the way. That way we don't have to talk about it no more this playoff season. Why in the world is the number one team in the state, Warren Central, Dubzilla as we call them, playing on the road this weekend? Come on, bro. I know that's going to be the last game we preview, but why in the world are we having a blind draw going into the playoffs, and we got the number one team in the state traveling? Just like we did last year. Same soapbox I was on last year when Ben Davis, number one in the state, beating the brakes off everybody, traveled to Lawrence Central to play in the doggone playoffs, and they undefeated. And they traveled twice during the playoffs. So now we start off all with this foolishness all over again. We got number one Warren Central traveling to Ben Davis this weekend. Makes absolutely no sense. What's the point? You got to go read the hot joint on TheJay GravesReport.com. I wrote it this morning because I was fired up. What's the point in playing the regular season? Playing 9 ball games, winning all 9 ball games, beating the brakes off everybody in all 9 ball games, to show up and be a visitor week 1 in the playoffs. Makes no sense. But let's move on to the first ball game. We got Lawrence Central going over to play Lawrence North. Now, we got the Battle of Lawrence all over again. During the regular season, Lawrence Central won this ball game 20-14. So now we got the Battle of Lawrence all over again. Round 2 is what they gonna call it, like the Thriller in Manila. Round 2. But now this is what I gotta say before I go any further. Lawrence Central and Lawrence North, whoever's responsible for putting the stats up, please put the stats on Max Preps. I want to give props to the players on each one of the squads that's getting off, but I can't give props to nobody because you never post anything on the doggone Max Preps. There's no information available. So please put the information on there next week. All I know is both these teams 3-6. All I know is you can toss a coin as to who's going to win this ball game, but because Lawrence North is at the crib, they still might lose this ball game. Lawrence Central, I got Lawrence Central to win this ball game, bro. I know that they both 3-6. They both struggled out the gate a little bit, but the fact that Lawrence Central won the first ball game, I got to give an edge to the confidence of Lawrence Central to win the second ball game. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now we got Pike going over to play Fishers. Now here's the deal. Pike has struggled this year. They 1-8. Fishers not too much better. They 3-6. During the regular season, Fishers beat these boys 31-14. But here's the crazy piece about this ball game. Last year, Pike beat the brakes off Fishers during the regular season and then lost to them in the sectionals. Well, what happens this year? Since Pike won the regular season game 31-14, do they lose in the sectional? Let's look at this. My man Jason Graves is doing work over at Pike. He's put up 1,823 yards, 13 touchdowns. Will Allen has finally found his wheels on him, and he's leading the team in rushing with 290 yards, 4 touchdowns. They still haven't been able to run the ball effectively over there. But coming into this ball game, what do we do? I mean, they played down the stretch. They played well, still lost ball games, but played down the stretch well. Marcus Rokes over at Fishers, 421 yards, 4 touchdowns, and H.L. Lewis, 557 yards, 4 touchdowns. What do we do in this ball game? Because Fishers is playing at the crib, I got to give Fishers the advantage to win this ball game. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now we got number 7, North Central, going over to play Hamilton Southeastern. Now, North Central finished the season 7-2. rolling. My man Chinchilla O'Shea, they call him Kevin O'Shea. I call him Chinchilla O'Shea because he walk in with the hat and the coat, the chinchilla coat. And he might be able to get some good use out of it this weekend because it might be cold on Friday night. But here's the deal. North Central comes in with a balanced attack. These boys rolling. My man Liam Thompson already put up 1,924 yards, 18 touchdowns, throwing to Trayvon Elliott 798 yards, 10 touchdowns, bud. And also Jordan Bingham. My man Jordan Bingham putting in work. 470 yards, 2 touchdowns. Here's the deal. Alexander Tarver, 691 yards, 3 touchdowns. North Central is playing on the road, even though they the higher seed. Again, goes back to what I was talking about a little earlier. This is my problem. I don't care if the IHSAA, IHSAA, I don't care if the Duns do a blind draw, but at least make it make sense in doing the blind draw. And so whoever is the highest seed should play at the crib. There's no reason why North Central should be traveling to HSE to play a ball game against a team that's 3-6. They get a home court advantage, a home field advantage, and North Central's put in work and won 7 ball games this year. Makes no sense, bruh. But it doesn't matter because Chinchilla O'Shea and company going to come in there like Frank Lucas, kick the door down, and go back to the crib. I got North Central winning this ball game. Now, let's go down south. We got Columbus North going over to play number 4, Center Grove. Now, here's the deal. I would normally just jump out the cake and say, Center Grove's going to win this ball game straight up. But I'm going to say, Center Grove's going to win this ball game straight up. Yeah, I know Columbus North is 8-1. They went 5-0 in the conference, but they haven't run into the likes of the Warhorse. You got the Warhorse coming into this ball game. Listen to this, bro. He putting up 1,511 yards, 21 touchdowns, and the Dun just turned 16 like 2 weeks ago. Did I tell you that he put up 1,700 yards last year as a freshman? So I know Columbus North got crazy wheels on them. They looking good. They 8-1, but they didn't play in the mix, and they hadn't ran up against the Warhorse. They call him Carson Steele. I'm just saying. So I'm going with Carson Steele to run wild on these boys. Hey, and let's move on to the next piece. We got Westfield coming in 4-5, going over to play number 5, Carmel. Let's move on to the next ball game. These boys over at Carmel going to run wreck shop over these boys. Let's keep it real all the way 100, whichever comes first. Have you seen the defense on Carmel? It's nuts. I call this defense the Beast. We got Dubzilla on the far east side, and then we got the Beast up north. Here's the deal. Carmel's only lost 2 ball games. They lost to Center Grove and Warren Central. When they played Warren Central, even though the final score looked ridiculous, they held on to the end of the rope until about 3.5 quarters in. Then they just let the rope go. But they had these boys in check for 3.5 quarters. But all of a sudden, the turnover just got to them at the end of the ball game, and it just went crazy. But Carmel and my man John Hebert is over there putting in work on these boys. So Westfield, hey, hey man, I feel I'm coming down with a cold. Y'all need to get that doctor's note. Go and get a doctor's note, dog, and tell them, hey, you're not showing up. You're gonna pass on it this weekend. You'll see them in another year or so. But you can't go over to Carmel this weekend expecting to win anything. Don't go over there, dog. I'm starting to get it too. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now we got number 1, Dubzilla. Warren Central going over to play Ben Davis. Now here's the deal, bro. Like I said before, Warren Central is already upset that they got to put their clothes on and drive over across town and play Ben Davis after they beat him 70-27 earlier this season. That's utter disrespect to a boy when you tell him he got to go across town to play a dub he already put 70 points on. Why we even playing this ball game? Now I know that Ben Davis gonna come in with some pride. They gonna play tough for about 3.5 minutes. But there's no way. This don't have nothing to do with Ben Davis, bro. This got everything to do with Warren Central. They might as well just cancel the playoffs, ship the trophy over to Warren Central and let's start basketball season, bro. Because, I don't want to stand out in the cold, no way. Warren Central, listen to this, dude. Warren Central, Dubzilla coming in with a three-headed monster. My man, Jay George the Incredible, has already put up 2,246 yards, 32 touchdowns. David Bell, the incomparable David Bell, put up 1,213 yards, 18 touchdowns. And then they got it done. They call him Romeo Elliott. I call him Secretariat from the far east side. Y'all already know what I'm about to do. He about to ride on these boys. He's already put up 1,906 yards, 27 touchdowns. They averaging 53 points a game, putting up 282 yards passing and 261 yards on the ground, bruh. They like FedEx and UPS all together. They air and ground game, dog. It's nuts. So, let's see. Ben David. Hey, I'm feeling you might be coming down with that cold, too. Don't go back out there, dog. You don't have to do this. I'm just telling you, Big Mama said you don't have to go out there, dog. Dubzilla is eating everybody and burping at the same time. It's your man, Jay Graves Report, from the TheJay GravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport so you can holler at your boy. And also remember that this segment is presented by your good neighbor, State Farm agent, Ravi R. Murray, located 7503 Rockville Road, Indianapolis, or hit your boy up at 317-297-3804 so you can holler